smallest thing. This guy starting a business, don't want to say which one. He reaches out to me and he's like, hey, I really want to get to know these important investors. He thinks very highly of them, the all-in podcast guys and things of that nature. And I'm like, all right, well, I don't want them to think that I'm leveraging our relationship. So I'm not comfortable making this connection. It's clear that, you'll give me something for doing it. And I don't want to position myself that way, but I know someone who will. So I called Hellmuth. I call Hellmuth and I say, I'm invested in this thing. I'm a believer, this young guy, make this introductions, and I negotiated a deal for him where he has to put in $15,000 to get 4% of this business. That was, he's buying at a 99% discount, and he's got all these advisor shares. It's just, I did him good. and the counterparty was happy with it too. So he's like, okay, great. You put him in that spot. He's amazing at this, connecting. And so he shows it to all these guys, maybe a half a dozen guys, all the who's sort of thing. And all of them pass and say they're not interested. And so Hellmuth calls me and he goes, hey, they all passed. I'm not going to put the 15,000 in, basically to his credit, these guys are crazy sharp, smarter than me in every way. And if they didn't like it, probably isn't a great investment, I guess. He passes, and I called him. I got an offer in November of last year from this secondary broker for my shares in this business. And they valued the business at $2 billion. And so,
man,
his 4% at that time, I don't know what's worth now, is $80 million because he didn't send in the 15,000.
Wow, that is tough. That is a tough beat. That is a serious beat.
If you're in my shoes and you get that call and you're like, oh, that's what it's worth, do you call Hellmuth and remind him of this gaffe, this $80 million mistake, or do you just let it pass? And
no, I wouldn't call him. I would wait for a nice dinner.
Just to ruin it.
Phil, are you enjoying your steak?
The wine's on me.
May
Surely we would own the restaurant, but under these conditions, I have the wine tonight.
You're actually gonna have two kinds of wine that night.
$80 million. Oh man, he was irate for 4 or 5 days when he kind of figured it out. He went through all these stages of grief. It was just wild to watch at one time. You ever see Terminator 2 when he gets dropped into the oil and he goes through all these flailing around where he's the mother, and then he's the guy with the stabbing arm, and then he's the cop or whatever. This happened in real time.
Yeah. Do you think the more devastating part for Phil is not having the 80 million, or the fact that he obviously missed out on such an obviously great, or maybe not obvious, but he missed out on such a great opportunity that was right in front of him? Probably the second, I think.
Are you nuts?
Yeah, I think the second.
Really the 80 million, right?
Well, I'm saying I think